Oh man, Alex, how are you doing on this fine day as the eve of the Flying Pig Marathon weekend approaches, sir?
It's a Thursday. I'll tell you that.
It is a Thursday.
Are you prepared for the 26.3 mile trek around your city?
So let me tell you about the 26.2 mile trek through two states because it's not just through one city, it's through two states. It's actually through three cities. Fun fact. I just realized that today. Because the majority of the
Right.
run is in Cincinnati, but you run in Newport and Covington, Kentucky. Now, the run through Covington and Newport is probably, if I have to hazard a guess, I think you hit mile one on the South Cape Bridge. Um, so Newport and Covington combined are probably like 2.5, 3 miles. Because I believe you hit mile four on the bridge coming back into Cincinnati. Imagine if I had had the book with the route on it and I could read that directly for you, but I can't because I misplaced it and I just got it today. And I have two other copies of the same book because every year you run the marathon, they give you the same book.
One day you just have a bookshelf full of them, and it's just like you
Oh,
can put
I've
other things there. Marathon guidebooks is what's going to be on there.
I've determined, Alex, in the nicest way possible, the fact of the matter is, when I eventually have children, they're going to see I have my first time marathoner shirt, I have my 25th anniversary Flying Pig shirt, I have last year's Flying Pig shirt, and then this one that I got today. I swept through the shirt I was wearing walking walking to the convention center and back to work. Um, but that's neither here nor there. But I'm convinced, like between the hockey jerseys that I'll have hanging in my house, the football jersey, like all the athletic memorabilia from like my career and other achievements I've had in my life, my kids are gonna think that I'm a retired professional athlete. Like eventually, and that'll be fantastic. It'll be funny. It'll be funny because they'll be like, "Look at all this stuff," and I'll be like, "No, Dad just kind of survived and
I'm a
survived long
collector.
enough." So I'll shatter their worldview from a young age and prep them for the world. So that's how I'm looking at it.
Kind of what my desk is starting to shape out to be, honestly. All
Hmm.
the
I also have to shave before
various
the
things
race
on
so
it.
that the goatee is all nice and cleaned up. But that's a
Fresh cut.
I'm only shaving the sides. I won't go full baby face.
No, you're only going. You got a fresh cut too up top.
Oh yeah, I get my haircut like a week or two before. I probably put more into self-care for myself to go run a marathon that winds up making me hurt for 2 days than a normal person does for like just living life normally. I shave, I stretch, I eat right for a week. Mind you, a week. There are people that will be running this race. There are people that will probably finish this race before me, and potentially people that will finish this race after me or drop out because if we have rains like we had that first year I ran, they will just drop out. That are in better shape than me, better trained, better prepared than me. But what I have, Alex, is not determination. It's sure pig-headedness to the point that I said I'm gonna fucking do this, so I'm just gonna fucking do it.
Powered by Winklow 10.
No, I am wearing Lunar Roams. You know, a not quite even running shoe, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm just saying, Nike, reach out. Quite literally, your shoes are the reason I'm able to run a marathon, and I'm not using your super shoes. I'm using your normal friggin' like kind of athletic looking shoes.
Retro running
Oh
the
no,
correct
I
term.
I almost bought Nike Shocks. The retro running Nike Shocks, I almost bought them. I really did. I do have these Nike Reacts, but they were heavy as hell. These guys, I know the camera's keying them out a little bit, but these guys, I love them, but they're just heavy as hell. I'll probably wear them like tomorrow. Like if I go out and do anything tomorrow and Saturday, I'll probably wear those so I have a really heavy shoe on my foot. So that when I switch back to the lunar realms, it feels like I'm wearing nothing on my feet.
Yeah.
But that is, I'm looking forward to it. I do love it. I love being able to say like, hey, I've run 3 like by Monday morning. Hopefully, I'll be able to say, hey, I completed 3 marathons. Like, I don't think there's a lot of people that can say that. No, I didn't complete any of them quickly. I'm not the fastest person. But goddamn am I the most determined out of nowhere. But, so. Vegetable Hike Shadow Streams coming next week. And actually, we'll be talking. I know this is the beginning of the show, and we're talking about next week already. But you know what? This is where we're going with this, bud. Next week, we'll definitely really dive into like being in the industry. It'll be a good off-season discussion, I think. I know we did that a little bit last week, but I think we can, if we really actually prep, we can have a good one and like kind of talk about certain things and how we look at how, as a fact, we look at everything in sports through that lens of what our roles were in professional athletics. You obviously only with the arena team, me with a couple hockey teams, and the same arena team where we became buddies. Some may even say friends. But that's kind of, I think that's a big topic, and I want to actually dedicate an actual whole show to just that. No additional fluff with grids, like talking about things we see in the industry and how we can turn that lens of hey, I worked in sports or work in sports on the professional side of things, and I see why XYZ is happening, because it's not necessarily something people may understand or realize. By the way, I think it's the perfect segue to move to City Connects, Alex.
I think so.
So, little movie magic. We have all of the revealed City Connects, correct?
Oh. This is as of today for this year, yeah.
Okay. Hold on, I'm just making sure that... Okay.
They're not an actual release order. I never figured that out.
That's fine. We'll start with the... I have hockey on the brain. I was going to say the Capitals. The Nationals. With a really solid, I love the blue. We actually, my sales office, we went to a Reds game today for like a team building event. And we were talking during the rain delay about how blue is such an underutilized jersey color in the MLB. Because I believe there's like 5 teams, not counting this City Connect jersey. And actually, well, with this one, 6 teams. I can think of 6 teams that have used this, like, kind of a light blue. You have Kansas City. The Royals, of course, they use their nice blue. The Cardinals, who were the away team today. The Phillies. The Expos, and the Nationals by extension. And then the Cubs have that alternate this year. That is also that kind of like sky baby blue.
Yeah, the new one.
which I really like. I'm a big fan of and actually, I'm pretty sure the Chicago White Sox had one in the past as well.
I think back in the 70s, probably.
Well, the 70s and 80s is when the powder blue, baby blue, whatever you want to call it, blue was fucking king, right?
Look, I think baseball cards are legitimate documentation.
Mm-hmm.
We can confirm that at some point.
Yeah, but like, so I'm okay with the interlocking DC. I think it's kind of a lame logo. I like the actual City Connect logo better. The W with the Capitol building cut out. I believe it's the Capitol building that's cut out in the bottom of the W.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to. It's kind of like how the Caps, I think, have the same thing going
Yep.
on in
Yeah.
their jerseys.
No, I love it. Though I think kind of the Rockies also, because as we'll talk about, their City Connect is also kind of this light blue color. I think they just did a great job with this particular jersey. The helmet having the flowers. God, what's the name of the tree?
The cherry blossom.
Cherry blossom. Thank you. I always forget that. I'm a big fan of the cherry blossoms, and like the gray jerseys with the cherry blossom on it were awesome, and I kind of hope the Nationals make that their away jersey at some point. I think that'd be an awesome addition to their uniform set. Is their original City Connects. I am a little disappointed in the helmet. If you look at the helmet, the W on the helmet does not have that cut out.
No, that detail isn't this. It's not even there. It's not. I would say it wasn't pronounced, but it's not even there.
Exactly. And if it is there, it's so unpronounced that it's no good. And then a team that also their original City Connect I thought was fantastic. I love the Southside jerseys that the White Sox did. This Bulls theme is kind of weird. Like, in my opinion, it's kind of weird, but I think it's a good play. Because, realistically, of the two teams, the Cubs would not have looked as good in a Bulls-themed jersey. Now,
they're
gonna prove me wrong. And when the Cubs do City Connect 2, I'm going to put this out in conjecture. When the Cubs do their City Connect 2, it'll be the black Bulls jersey with the red pinstripes.
Sure. You know what this kind of reminds me of, though?
What?
You ever see I think Bleacher Report does these or somewhere. But you have those if teams swap colorway posts that go around every so often. This is one of the but it actually like works.
Yeah, no, I think it looks good. I really like the logo on the hat, the very simple white sock with the wings. It does look a little bit like if ChatGPT made a baseball jersey for the Detroit Red Wings, though. The logo on the hat. This detail I actually really like.
I just noticed that too. I've been staring at that logo all day when I threw this together, but I see it way more now.
That was the first thing I thought of when I saw the logo, but I didn't want to tell you because I wanted your genuine reaction.
No, but I remember when they put when I saw the post for these come out.
So the one thing, obviously, that is covered in this picture is on the other side of the collar after 05 has the Bulls logo. The white is obviously White Sox World Series championships. The red is Bulls NBA championships. And yes,
I think that was a solid.
That is
1906
and 1917.
You don't see that as it seems kind of crossing over like that, but maybe that's
no. I like the idea of I want to see City Connect jerseys. Like I know the Yankees won't do it because they're the Yankees. Well, the Yankees would do something like this with just their championships, but I could, if you want me to be completely honest, I could see the Mets right when they do their second City Connect jersey, stealing this idea and doing all teams that have called New York City home. Not that the Nets have won anything, but the Brooklyn Nets. Hell, put the Yankees World Series in there. Fill up the fucking collar. The Knicks. the Rangers. Just put all of
I
them.
think it'd be like
Just all of them. Just make it like egregious because it'll be it'll be funny. But that's.
I think like these jerseys should be like.
I think these jerseys should
I get.
pay homage to your
I feel
city and the athletics of your city.
Yeah.
Now it's hard when you have cities like Chicago and New York that have two sports teams or two teams in baseball. Boston would be a better example. If they did Bruins, Patriots, Celtics, Red Sox. Bruins, Patriots, Celtics, Red Sox, Bruins. Bruins, Red Sox, Celtics, Patriots. Yes, if they had all of them, all the teams, the Red Sox, the Bruins, the Celtics, and the Patriots, and they put all their championships in the collar, I think that would be a very good City Connect. Like that is the connect piece of City Connect. It's showing your team's athletic history. All right. So the Astros are one of the teams, or I mean, actually, all the teams so far have had two City Connect jerseys. I don't think any team so far that's released a City Connect hasn't had two.
The Red Sox are still TBD on when they're coming out. They got confirmed for
that has released a City Connect this year. This is their second.
Yeah, because the Dodgers got one, I think, at the end of last year.
Yeah, but I think
they had the all blue.
Every team that's released a City Connect this season already has a City Connect jersey.
Yeah, because I think they're doing the same order for the second round that they're doing the first one. Is from
probably.
Yeah, that's how it feels.
To be
fair, they would have thrown like A's in there, but they would have thrown a random team that.
The Yankees will get theirs eventually because they'll be forced to. Hot take, and I'm okay with that. As a Yankees fan, I'm okay with that. By the way, the Astros, I think this is a super clean jersey.
I like this one better than the other one.
So, I dislike it. I like this jersey. Let me clarify. This is a good jersey. This is just an Astros jersey, though. You couldn't if I looked at this, I'm like, what makes that the City Connect jersey? The Space City jersey is still their City Connect jersey. This, great. Houston, want to make this your home jersey next year? Go for it. I'm all in on that. I love the look on it. But the only City Connect thing I notice is the HTX on the belt loop, and then obviously a little bit of a different sleeve patch. But otherwise, it's just a really cool Astros jersey otherwise. And I love it. I do. I'm a big fan of this uniform, but I don't think it's a City Connect uniform. You know?
Yeah. I mean, they brought back the 90s throwback Astros logo there?
80s, yeah.
Or 90s.
Yeah.
Even when they went the
we'll go back to
maroon and gold route, they still had that logo. They modified that logo a little bit, but
and I like the logo. The logo, everything is beautiful. It looks really, really good. It's just I don't see how you can call that your City Connect jersey. I think the Space City jersey did a better job of City Connect. The thing I just glazed the White Sox for. I just glazed the White Sox for.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of comes off in the same vein as a glorified alternate uniform that could have been
exactly. So I think a lot of them are obviously glorified alternate.
I put the Cardinals one.
Last year was a red. It said the Lou. It was basically just an alternate jersey. If you want me to be honest. But great jersey. I'm not saying it's a bad uniform. I just think if the theme is to connect to the city, I think you should be connecting to the city in some way, shape, or form. And I actually love that the White Sox are celebrating the champions of their city being the Bulls. So, I think that's a solid choice, and that's the only place I think this Astros jersey falls short, for the record. It's not a
That was
bad
just
jersey. Don't take what I'm saying to say, oh, I think it's a shitty jersey or it's a shitty City Connect. No, I don't. I think it's hard to tell me that it's the City Connect jersey. It looks like, hey, we have this great alternate jersey we have lined up. I guess I am saying it's a shitty City Connect, but we have this great alternate jersey set up for next year. Where can we slot it in? Oh, just throw it in the City Connect slot. Like, that's how I look at it. Would you agree with that sentiment a little bit, Alex?
yeah. And I think trying to remember too. There were a couple other ones like that played off in that same like the all red Cardinals one.
Yeah, so last year, so I think the
And
Cardinals
one,
one, the first Dodgers one was just literally the like
yeah.
Spanish series of jerseys. Um,
And then now who else was in that first year? That we're probably missing.
all right, so you had your
The
Dodgers.
Giants. The
Yeah,
Giants. Yeah,
the
the
Giants
Giants one was
are
more
another one where
glorified
I
president.
like their jersey they did this year better, which actually than the next one's on this
Yeah,
list.
go to the other picture. I did miscrop the other one by accident. So there's one of Heliot Ramos that probably is a better crop job than
Right
this one.
here.
Yeah.
So I love this jersey. I haven't been to San Francisco since 2002. I will fully admit that. Right off the rip. But this jersey itself, I won't lie to you. I think it's a really awesome jersey. And I am going to make a big assumption, again, having not been to San Francisco in years, like 23 years to be exact. Wow, it's coming up in August. It will be 23 years since I've been to San Francisco. That's wild. Anyway, I'm going to take a guess that the kind of graffiti style is an homage to something of San Francisco, a part of the city, a part of the culture. San Francisco strikes me as an artsy city, so that they can get away with it for that. Also, I am noticing in the jersey, it looks like they have almost like fault line, or not fault lines, topographic map lines
Yeah, I
on
was
the
gonna say that
jersey.
about DC having the city map on there too.
DC has the city
The
map.
Nationals have the city map on there. Yeah.
So it's things like that. Those are the sort of details that I look for. If you're telling me it's a City Connect jersey, all of these awesome alternate jerseys. But if you're telling me it's a City Connect jersey, connect it to my city, being the city you're representing. Which, by the way, the Mets City Connect jersey was a good looking jersey. I liked the little flashes of purple, but there was not a single friggin' apple on that jersey. And the New York City's known as the Big Apple. It would be the biggest cop out and would have been really good. I'm still angry about that, and it's been a year. So, but otherwise, I do like the Giants City Connect jersey. The Rockies.
This one's probably the Rockies' first one was one of my favorites, and then this one now is one of my favorites. But I need the hat
Yep.
for this one.
I love the hat for this one. So the Rockies, what I was gonna say is the first one they did a good job because they're the Colorado Rockies, obviously, no, not the Denver Rockies. So the City Connect jersey being just the license plate, the first time was fantastic. I loved that. I can tell you I have been to Denver. It's been 12 years since I've been to Denver. Coming up on 12 years since I've been to Denver. I was there in high school. If there's one thing I do remember about Denver, and actually I was in New Mexico that same month, but Colorado and New Mexico, like that whole kind of region, when you're in the mountains and everything, the way the sunrise is and everything, and obviously getting the Rockies regular purple in there, the blue just falling right to the horizon. I love it. The orange kind of looks awesome too. I bet they have a really good explanation on their website for why they picked what they did. But I don't need it. It's a great jersey, and I can see like having been there, I can see that jersey and like the horizon lines and everything, and I'm like, that is like if I was thinking of like a Colorado, a Denver City Connect jersey that's not just tying it to the other sports teams, that's what I would go with. So I'm a big fan of that. Also, the fact the numbers are gold. Big fan of that too. But I think the Rockies have hit both City Connects out of the friggin' park.
Shitty team, great City Connect.
It's fine. I have $5.50 on the Rockies winning the World Series this year.
Look, you're just making a charitable donation at that point. So it's a
Except
charitable donation.
it's only a charitable donation to BetMGM if the Rockies don't win. And if they do win, I'm going to look like a friggin' genius. Anyway, Miami. I haven't really looked at their jerseys a lot because obviously they.
Well, they announced this one yesterday.
I was gonna say it's only been a couple of days since they announced the City Connect jerseys. I like the color scheme. The Miami Vice color scheme looks really good. Look at that. They connected to the city. By the way, their first City Connect was great because it tied to the baseball heritage of Miami.
Yeah.
So I think they've done a great job with both of them too. But I love the Miami Vice stylings of them.
Even though this is probably like, how do we differentiate the same theme, but don't copy the Miami Heat? Don't know.
Well, I mean, it is a little bit. That is the one downside of it. It is a copy of the Heat. I've pulled it off screen already, but
it is. But it is what it is.
Looks
Heat had
though
like 4 different jerseys for this though.
Yeah, it kind of looks like one of their Miami Vice Heat jerseys I think is black, but regardless,
black, yeah.
Regardless, I think it looks fine. I think it looks good, and realistically, if your goal is to do a City Connect, Miami Vice is one of the like known themes of Miami. Like if I think of Miami, that's one of the things I'm gonna think of as the average person. So I think that's where they went with it. Yeah, did they copy the Heat a little bit? Of course they did. But that's also a big part of sports, right? Like I don't know if I've talked about this, but like we have marketing meetings, like company wide ones near the beginning middle of off season, and we do these sort of things. We sit there and we say, all right, what ideas do we want? And I can tell you the ideas I've pulled directly from other teams. The ideas a lot of people pulled directly from other teams, either in the same league, same sport, different sports. If it works, if we think we can do it better, we'll do it better. So that's my 2 cents on that and why I think it's a good one. And again, having been in this industry for a while now, I'm actually surprised that we haven't seen more copycat uniforms. Again, I think the White Sox did the same thing. I think the White Sox did the exact same thing. But I don't care. You know? Because it looks good.
You can still,
and if it looks good,
copy it to a degree, but
if it looks good and it performs well, I'm okay with it. Like, I'm not saying copy every idea one for one, but hey, if it works, it works. And if it looks good and people like it, even better. Again, that's my 2 cents on the matter.
I think my thing is, like, it kind of works like how in Madden or in any sports game, you can access any alternate uniform, any historic uniform, right?
Most.
So, what doesn't make sense to me is the Red Sox got rid of their navy blue aways just for their City Connect 2s. No other team has cut uniforms except for the Nationals retiring the gray ones.
So,
The Red Sox are wearing the Reds on the road now, which is just a weird look.
So
But
let me counter here. First of all, the Red Sox are one of the teams that does switch their jerseys a lot.
yeah,
They go hard in that branding department. So that's
especially
one thing. The other thing is the City Connects, right? I love their City Connect ones. By the way, they're one of the best examples of a City Connect. They were willing. They threw their colors away for that uniform. By the way, my mom hates the City Connects, the current City Connect for the Red Sox. I was talking to her last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever the Boston Marathon was, and the night before, and I was talking to my mom, and she was like, "Why were the Red Sox wearing blue socks and yellow jerseys?" And we were like, "Mom, it's their City Connect jersey, like." It's the Boston Athletic Association. Like, they have that blue and gold color. I love the blue hat. I think it looks awesome. I'm hoping that the next City Connect jersey looks that good. Also, I'm hoping that their current City Connect jersey becomes an away jersey. Because actually, it would be kind of a fire alternate away jersey for the Red Sox. And those jerseys with a nameplate would look awesome. And I think they'd be my favorite jersey across the board of City Connects. Because I am a sucker for a good nameplate on my uniforms.
you know, Sox will never put a nameplate on the fucking uniforms.
They have nameplates on their roads, bud.
Just the road. You know they won't do it at home.
I know they wouldn't. But if City Connect 1 becomes a road alternate, it gets a nameplate. Potentially. And actually, that's not true. They did have a red alternate years and years ago that did have nameplates. And they wore it at home. Sometimes. So you were wrong on 2 counts, sir.
Sir, it's fine.
By the way, I'm pretty sure I'm talking about like 2006. So if I'm citing sources that are 20 plus years old in a uniform debate, I think that's a little bit cheesy on my part.
It's fine.
But you get my point, though. Like, because the City Connect T-shirts, I love the style of the nameplate, and I wish they had nameplates on their City Connect jerseys. That's the one thing. Also, Players Weekend, when that was a thing, they had nameplates. But again, that's a specialty thing. Hell, even the Yankees had nameplates for that. Think about that for a second. Not only did they have nameplates, they had nicknames. They didn't wear pinstripes at home for a weekend. Do you know how pissed people were in 2017 when that happened? It was actually amazing. I loved every minute of it. But that's how I'm looking at it. Like, I think the Red Sox City Connect 2 is going to look really good because I think they did a great job with City Connect 1, and I think because they're one of the teams that loves to switch up their branding as much as possible without distorting it too much, I think they'll get a pretty cool one, hopefully. Because the teams that seem to switch their branding up seem to do better with the City Connect jerseys. The Giants' current one is better. The Dodgers is awful, but the Dodgers don't do anything to change their branding at all. I would be afraid of a Yankees one being terrible because they never switch their stuff up. When the eventual one comes out, I'll probably still buy it because I'm a Yankees fan and I'm a sucker for supporting my team. But I'll hate everything about it probably. Does that sum up City Connects, do you think, Alex?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Do you want to crush a grid or two and call it a night?
Oh, hell yeah.
Alrighty. Ooh.
All right, so we're going grid numero ocho, correct?
Yes. Grid ESPN 8, the Ojo. I'm going to immediately off the rip grab Astros Hall of Fame. Joe Morgan. I
I can spell words.
63 to 84, I believe. Yes. Hey. Thank you, MLB The Show, for telling me that he played for the Houston Astros.
All right. Where do I want to go with this?
Preferably one of the 8 squares I didn't pick.
Well, I mean, for starters, obviously, but
By the way, perfect. We're currently at a perfect 9%.
I love that for us, actually. It's not going to stay there for long.
Can we talk about the fact that Joe Morgan was only a 9% pull? I thought he was going to be higher. I'm not going to lie to you.
All right. We're going to try Raphael for Braves Gold Glove.
Braves Gold Glove. Who?
Oh, I point that one. Okay.
What was his name?
Doesn't know. Okay. Oh,
What was his name again?
Raphael for call.
I was gonna say he definitely. I was gonna go. I was gonna go Chipper Jones.
I'm not trying to cop out.
I'm trying to get the least amount of points, and a name in a grid is gonna be less points than no name in a grid.
And, oh,
Actually, John
that'd be a
Smoltz
rough
would be a better one there. But the Braves have a lot of. What grid slot did you just fill in?
I put Smoltz in Braves Hall of Fame because I threw names and I was throwing names off the rip there. And we were going over in that. But Smoltz, Braves Hall of Fame.
I was gonna say Smoltz is good. Dude, oh my God, Greg Maddux was a Brave, wasn't he? At some point.
And a Cub.
That's where I was going.
I'm assuming that's where we're going.
That's exactly where I was going with that, bud. Because I was going to put him in Gold Glove, and I was like, I know he was a Cub. Was he a Brave? Or am I making that up?
Oh, so we're going to put Kyle Tucker as an Astro and a Cub just for...
Astro Cub, Mr. Kyle Tucker.
Yep.
By the way, the ones we've guessed have been... Oh, wow, that's a great poll. Again, it's probably more recency bias because we are 700 goods behind.
Only 752 behind.
Okay. But because we're multiple years behind, that one's there. But
only a few.
Joe Mauer won a Gold Glove for the Twins, right?
He didn't. I'd be shocked.
Mostly because at this point, I kind of want to just have the X. He did, and actually only 35% of people guessed him. Which feels low. I feel like a lot of people put him in the Twins Hall of Fame slot.
Yeah.
Who could we put in that Hall of Fame slot?
For who?
For the Twins.
Harmon Killebrew?
You want to go Harmon Killebrew?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm eating my dinner. His name is not...
Athlete, I forgot. Elite athlete, peak male performance.
19%. I have a feeling those were flipped a lot of times.
Jeff Bagwell win a Gold Glove?
He had to have, right?
Your Biggio had to win one back in that.
You know who did win a Gold Glove? I'm like 99% sure. And I think he will be kind of a wild pull. Lance Berkman. He did
Bro, I'm screwed for it. Whatever else I do.
Berkman did not get one, but I am going to put Bagwell in. Bagwell did. He was a 6% pull. That's not bad. That's not a bad grid. All right, one more. Grid number 9. We're actually not as far behind as we think we are because we've done a few of the grids. Like we went 9 for 9 on grid 69. Fun facts.
All right.
All right, first thing first. Adam Dunn's the top of this corner. Actually, no, not Adam Dunn. Ken Griffey Jr. He was a White Sox, right? He was.
Yeah, very, very briefly.
Yet he was the pull. Adam Dunn would have been a better pull. Damn it.
Pirates Rookie of the Year. I think I know who I can throw in there very comfortably.
Humst.
Paul Skeens.
That actually will be a pretty good one because this grid is so old. He wouldn't have been. It has to be people that went. He has a 17%, which means 17% of the people that have gotten a slot in this grid picked a dude that's only played in the league for a year.
You got to think about people that play this are just coming about it too. So you got that range of people that want to do it from 1 to wherever.
True. You also got people that are filling in the grid a little bit and like, I'm going to come back to this. This is a man that did not hit a home run last week. Nick Castellanos. This grid's been a little high, but we're still... I'm not upset with any of the picks we've made. A Pirate and
Scott Rowland on that one.
Right here? Or, right there, down there?
Yeah.
I was just talking about Scott Rowland today. I like putting him in the Phillies. I like putting him for... Yeah, stuff with the Reds is good, but... I copped out. Pirates and Reds.
I might have a poll for that. Just think of... Okay, yeah. We're going to throw Bronson Arroyo in there.
It's Bronson Arroyo.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I only know him. I only remember him as a Red Sox. I'm not gonna lie.
I remember him as a Red more because he was with the Red. He was with the Reds way longer.
I know, but like I didn't really watch baseball outside of like Red Sox baseball for the longest time. Like I followed the Yankees, but it was via ESPN. Like watching baseball, actually watching baseball for the longest time was just the Red Sox baseball that was on Nesson.
Yeah.
So, but Reds Rookie of the Year, or not Reds, Phillies Rookie of the Year. I'm gonna take a cop out. I'm like 99.999% sure he won Rookie of the Year. His name is Michael Schmidt.
When you get it right,
he was not
Michael Jackson.
He did not win the Rookie of the Year. Are you?
I think I know who did.
Who?
Our favorite Office 10.
Ryan Howard.
It's a major cop out, but it's fun.
Ooh, it's major. Fun. I'm shocked Mike Schmidt wasn't there. We have to do another grid, Alex, because I'm not happy with an 8.
No.
White Sox Rookie of the Year. Did Chris Sale win the Rookie of the Year?
I doubt it. Konerko won it?
Paul Konerko. The Rhode Island man? I'm pretty sure Paul Konerko's from Rhode Island. Nope, Konerko did not win it. I'm sending Chris Sale on this one. Don't worry, I was wrong too.
The White Sox have been so bad for so long, it's hard to think about. Well, actually, I'm going to try Konerko for the Gold Glove.
He had to have won a Gold Glove. Ooh.
All right, so I just threw in Andrew McCutchen and just to complete the Pirates route.
Yep. That's fine. Um, that one's a freebie. All right, we have to actually. I think we want to. I think the bigger goal, Alex, for this one for a good 10 is get names. Crap.
I have to scroll all the way to the bottom every single time now.
I know. But here's the thing. Eventually, you'll be scrolling less to the bottom. We're playing the long game.
All right.
This is a tough one.
Your go, my go.
It's my go. But where do I put Johnny Damon? Do I put him in top left or middle left? Actually, wait a second.
Do you want to go glove with you?
Hear me out. Hear me out, Alex. Top left, I can do Johnny Damon. Middle left, you can do Jason Giambi. Bottom left, you can do.
Gary Sanchez down there, didn't you?
Gary Sanchez was the Yankee. Gary Sanchez was
and
also. But you also have Michael King.
You got Trent Grisham too.
Yeah, there's actually there's a lot of options.
All right, what square is Johnny Damon going in?
I think I'm gonna go top left with Johnny Damon. Wait a second, my brain is freezing. Eric Cervez was a Yankee at the end of his career.
Yeah, so I threw Chavez.
I'm 99% sure Chavez was a
No, you're 1,000% correct.
I am my New York Yankees, and then I'm finishing the Yankees here. Michael King. Look at those polls, Alex.
All right, not mad at it.
My high is Johnny Damon at 4%. I think that's pretty good, and that was all off. That was all off the dome. The Chavez poll was the biggest one. I think the Chavez one was the biggest poll of the three, even though it's not the lowest rated one. All right, you can make 3 picks now because I just flew through those.
Verlander had to. Yeah, Verlander won Rookie of the Year. So I'll just offset all your picks with one.
Not really, though. It barely hits our cop-out threshold of 50. The Tigers have had a lot of really good young guys. Remember that.
Pause.
Nope. I'm owning that statement.
Okay. I can't, like, an A's Gold Glover, nothing comes to mind.
There's this guy. He plays for the Dodgers now. His name is Max Muncy.
Well, that never done.
I'm 99% sure he won Gold Glove with the A's. I know Chavez did. Did Miguel Tejada win one when he was with the A's?
Also no. No.
He did not. But I said it, so we have to send it. That's tough. Yeah, A's Gold Glover is not an easy category because I'm pretty sure I used 2 A's Gold Glovers for in the Yankees category. We'll look at this A's Gold Glove afterwards. If that's the only one we don't have, that's fine. Can you think of a Padres Gold Glove? You know who else I could have done for the Padres Yankees? That would have been a pretty good one, but less good now because of MLB The Show. Goose Gossage would have been pretty good for that. You want to say Tatis?
Yeah,
it's obviously Tatis Jr.
Yeah,
17%. That's not bad.
Okay. That's not terrible.
You got a Tigers Gold Glover? Did Prince Fielder win one? Oh wait, no, he was a Brewer. He was a Brewer forever.
And the Tiger.
He was a Tiger. I'm sending
Yeah.
Prince Fielder because I feel like he's the sort of dude that even if he won a Gold Glove, no one would believe it.
No, you're wrong.
I am wrong. Damn. He should have won a Gold Glove. It would have been funny. All right. This is still our last grid either way, but
I'm gonna send Tony. All right, Tony Gwynn wasn't good enough to be Rookie of the Year anyway.
you put Tony Gwynn there.
Yeah.
Solid pull though.
All right. My last guess on this grid is Maglio Ordonez for Tiger Gold Glove, and that wasn't. Actually, I want to see this. Hold on.
Can you spell that?
Maglio. Type in Maglio. Magg.
The Ordonez.
Yeah.
Boom. Nope.
Okay. A-Rod.
All right. So there have been 12
Well,
A's that have won Gold Gloves, for the record.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Ricky Henderson?
I can't believe we didn't think of that off the rip.
Well, I think we were trying not to cop out. Also, Ricky
Yeah.
Henderson would have been a pretty good one for Yankees as well. Ricky Henderson is.
Oh, Sean Murphy. Sean Murphy, Matt Chapman.
I thought Muncy had won one, but I might.
No, I just have the AL. I have the AL in front of me right now. Matt Olson.
Matt Olson.
Chapman won a couple.
Hold on. Max Muncy. 15 to 2025. Two-time All-Star, 2 World Series. No Gold Gloves or Silver Sluggers. I would have been wrong.
We could have done
But he's still a pretty good pull.
Dwayne Murphy would have been a nice pull.
Hey, I'm not too upset. At the end of the day, honestly,
there were two Padres Rookie of the Years.
Tony Gwynn.
Tatis was not one of those.
Who are they? Benito Santiago was one of them. And he was the 78% gas. The A's have only had 8 Rookie of the Years.
Oh, it was Butch Metzinger. He was in a tie for the. There were 2 NL Rookie of the Years that year.
Well, any last thoughts, Alex, before we send this the way of the dodo?
No, I think we'll. We said we'll probably hit Sports Biz more next week, and then probably get some older pods up on YouTube just to get them up.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, I think we'll also, as this offseason kind of progresses, I think we might actually plan for in-season hockey, because that's kind of where we have to plan for. Because when it's regular season, obviously my life is busier. I know you're busy with school and everything, so I'm not trying to be that guy.
No, we'll make a plan. We've been trying to build this back up anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a plan. In theory, actually, we have the concepts of a plan, and I won't even share you a part of a part, because you don't get a whole part until you hire me. It's collate said documents, by the way. That's the part you get. I hope you appreciated that offense reference.
Anyway, I want to talk about the Rockies real quick, potentially being one of the worst teams ever.
Look, they are my goat. They are my goat. They are winning the World Series this year. I am telling you on May 1st, 2025, the current worst team in baseball is winning the World Series this year, and I'm going to look like a fucking genius when it comes out. And they do it.
Well, look, they could be.
To be fair, for the last 3 years. to be fair, for the last 3 years, I bet on them to win the World Series.
All right, so here's the thing. They could be the worst team to play in Major League Baseball since the 1899 Cleveland Spiders, who finished 20 and 134.
For the record, Cleveland should change their name to the Spiders because I think that's the best team name Cleveland's had ever. You can clip that.
I think the Washington Commanders should take the Senators' name.
I actually would be very okay with them being the Washington Senators again for the third time. This time the baseball Senators, though. Or football Senators. I think I'm glad the Washington Bullets are no longer the Washington Bullets because kind of a tough name. Alrighty. Have yourselves a good week, and we will be back at some point next Thursday evening, roughly 7 p.m., unless I get held up at work, and then it'll be like 8 p.m.